Okay. 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 Um, I want somebody to talk, but okay. So when I do that, they can hear my voice, but only on the left channel. Okay, that's stupid. Hi, everybody from the left channel. This is a warning if you hear me on the right channel that you got your headphones on the wrong way around, and you should be ashamed of yourself. And that's all I have to say for now. Just trying to fix the audio. To the system. Okay, so that's me again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty, so
Hello.
We're
this-
talking.
Shit.
Hallelujah.
Greetings.
Can everybody hear me? And can everybody hear everybody else?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Sweet. We are gonna go live in stereo. Yes. Greetings, everybody. Today I am joined by, well, you. Anybody can come and join. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly put something. Well, that's not the right thing. I want to add. How do I get my display? Yes.
Playception. Nice.
Whoa. Okay, that's cool. But totally not what we were doing today. Okay, so I can put that on the can I pop this out? Is it possible to pop this out? Or make it full screen? I want people to see who's in the chat so that we can tell who's talking and stuff. But that might not be possible. Cool. Anyway, I'm joined by a bunch of people from the Collective Intelligence server, and we've got Absolute Truth Seeker, we got Chox, we got Dada, we got Shadow Giant, we got Uncle Butt, and we got Walker. And I'm just going to quickly make a little announcement, and more people can come join. So if you're on the Collective Intelligence Discord server, you can come and join us talking. We are gonna. Yep, I'll give you the link in a second. We are going to be talking about stuff. Absolute Truth Seeker has already kind of started things off by mentioning some things that are giving him a little bit of grief. So we'll probably start by addressing that. And then we will move on to other topics. And we're just going to have a chat. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good old time. So, yep. Hi, everybody. How's it going?
Hello there. It's been going pretty well.
Fuck yeah. So, Truth Seeker, you were telling us or me that you are having trouble when you're working on music related
yes.
to... Yeah, do you want to explain yourself again?
Yeah, so basically, I hear all of these little sound effects, little one-shots, little sweeps, or some psychedelic sound effects. I have it in my mind exactly how it sounds, but for some reason I cannot produce those specific sounds into my production, specifically into the synth that I'm using.
Yeah.
I hear it in my mind, but I cannot make it. So that's the problem.
Yeah, so you're troubled by, so having a vision in your mind of what you think you want to hear, and then not being able to achieve that.
Yeah, basically that.
Can everybody else hear what we're talking about? What's happening with everybody else? Yo, Gail. Okay, so it looks like people are having a little bit of trouble with their audio. People are disconnecting and reconnecting. I'm just going to quickly make a little announcement anyway, just to kick things off in the Discord. So just bear with me a moment. We are currently...
Can you hear me though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your voice is
Okay,
clear.
good. Because it says that I have a really bad connection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's that about? Everybody seems to be having the same kind of complaint.
I think it's the Discord servers.
Discord struggling.
Emmy. Sup, motherfucker. How do I say your name properly, dude? I've never been able to...
You got it, man.
Emmy?
That's it.
Okay.
Emmy Nona.
Sweet. Emmy Nona.
Yeah. Actually, it's right to left reading. It's fractal anonym.
From right to left reading.
Yeah, it's mirror writing.
Fractal. Fractal, what's the second word? My brain doesn't work fast enough.
It's anonymous.
I still haven't written this fucking thing that I was going to write. Hey everyone, we're currently live on stream having a group chat. You are welcome to join us either on YouTube or in Discord. Sand. Okay, now shall we wait a little bit longer?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Man, if I got $1 for every time people asked me whether I was high on live stream, I'd get like $4.
Yeah.
I seem to get asked it like quite often. No, I'm not. I do have a beer, but I've only had a beer. And yeah. Okay.
We get high by listening to music. Oh yeah.
That's it. That's it. Hey everyone. Okay, well, Truth Seeker, it's just me and you talking, dude.
Yeah.
It's pretty much it. Everybody else is out of commission. So
That's fine.
to reply to you, Bastion, we're going to start talking about stuff right now, and there's not necessarily an agenda, it's more of a free-flowing conversation, but I've just been talking to Absolute Truth Seeker, and he's been mentioning to me that he's been having trouble making what he hears in his head, so I'm going to just start asking him some questions. So how long have you been producing for, dude?
I'm a very new producer. I've been doing for about a year.
Yeah. So do you mind if I just tell you my perspective on it, or would you like? Is that?
Oh, sure.
Is
Go
that
ahead.
suitable?
That's totally fine.
So when I was exactly the same when I first started producing. I couldn't make what I wanted to make in my head either, and over time, it sort of revealed itself just through time that was not really the correct goal for me to try and pursue necessarily what I was hearing in my head, and that would lead to a lot of frustration because I wasn't able to achieve what I had planned, basically, and I needed to learn to let whatever happen, if you get what I mean. Like, if I sit down and I
get it.
Yeah, I just fuck around, eventually, before I know it, I'm ending up actually capable of making what's in my head as soon as I let go of this perception that it had to be exactly identical or whatever. So I stopped trying to control it directly, but that sort of letting go indirectly resulted in eventually me being able to do just that. And it's, I don't know whether you'd call it paradoxical or whatever, but it's like a roundabout way of getting where you were intending to be, but it's unnatural to like let go.
I see.
I would liken it to psychedelics, if I'm able to talk about that without being if I'm able to talk about that. So it's like with psychedelics, the thing that you need to do is ultimately let go and let the experience happen, but what seems so counterintuitive is to let go. So it's the same sort of idea. When you're making music, you insist that you have to make your idea come to reality, so you hold on to that idea and that image of what the music is, but the sooner you kind of let go of that and you let what happen, whatever should happen, you kind of end up in the same place that you were intending on being, but you just went on a different journey to get there. Does that make any sense?
Okay. different paths but same destination. That's quite interesting.
Yeah, I don't know
Can I
whether.
ask you something?
Yeah,
I
sure.
mean, Absolute Truth Seeker is. Are you making your own sound design?
Yeah,
you
I'm making my own
using
sounds.
Yeah, so it makes sense. It takes years to get into what you really want to do with the synth.
Okay.
100%.
Production is one thing. Sound design is another thing, and it takes really long time to really get what does the LFO, what you can do with the LFO, which parameters gonna affect the sound, and that take long time.
I see.
It's really interesting. You can. I reckon I've watched a video on the same topic like 20 times, right? Not the same video, but like videos that cover the same topics so many times, because there's just it takes a long time for a lot of information to really digest and to become usable to you, because you're learning so many things. So when you consider the fact that you're learning production, you're learning sound design, you're learning music theory, you're learning you're learning so many things at once that
Yeah, so true.
it is gonna take you, and this isn't to intimidate you because it's extremely rewarding. It's one of the most, it is the most rewarding thing I've ever done with my time. But the investment,
Yeah, music is beautiful.
yeah, and the longer you spend at it, man, you just get better. Like you really do. You can see the improvements, because if you save all of your tracks that you're finishing now, and you go back and listen to them even in a year from now, man, you're gonna laugh, or you're gonna smile, or you're gonna cry, or you're gonna do something. But
Leg it, bro, leg it.
The journey of music production.
yeah, but because it's kind of like self-improvement, but yeah, you can really measure it, because you're taking a snapshot in time of like how good you were at producing, and then you kind of compare it to something newer, and it's harder to compare yourself to a memory of how you used to be. But when you've got that sort of down in writing or down in a music file, yeah, you can directly see it. It's pretty cool.
True.
So, is the chat working for a lot of the other people here, or?
It
Not sure
keeps
if you guys-
going in and out, and I have to keep going to YouTube and then come back to here.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, and that's
I'm not sure if you guys can hear me at all, though.
I can hear you,
I can
Dada.
hear you. Yeah.
I can hear you, yeah.
Dada, you're loud and clear.
Yeah,
you
but
hear me?
yeah, we can. But what I was gonna
And
say
it's
is,
gone.
My mic isn't working. It says,
I can hear you.
is my mic working?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, we got a fair few people working. Okay, so
Just advise to mute YouTube so you don't have the difference, the delay.
yeah, you can have YouTube on, but probably not the audio.
Yeah, I just got
Yeah.
the audio
Yeah.
muted.
Yeah, I have to switch between YouTube and the Discord.
So is it still being
What's that?
problematic for you, Uncle?
Yeah, it just keeps throwing me out of the voice chat more often than not.
That's frustrating. Took me long enough to
I
get
can,
that. Oh, sorry.
It,
I can tell you something. My room got a very bad microphone.
I've got
What?
No, I'm trolling Uncle. I'm trolling Uncle because his voice on Discord right now is just so much bassy that what it is in real life.
Maybe
Trolling
Music
Uncle
Charles.
microphone.
maybe he's compensating his voice. Uncle, is your voice really that deep? He can't defend himself because he got thrown out of the chat.
He's back. Uncle.
So anyway, should we move on to another topic? And as people can talk, they can jump in. It's kind of frustrating. I really want everybody to be able to be involved.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, Gnome, this is my new studio room. I have not set it up yet, but this is where my new studio is going to be. Yep. Okay. Well, yeah, if anybody wants, they can just talk from the YouTube chat as well, because I will read that. Okay, cool. Callum, how's it going, man? Callum? It's not working anymore for you? Alex, what about you, man? Are you there? Or you're just in the chat? Because I can see your microphone's muted.
He's muted in Discord.
Yeah. Callum's in the chat, but he doesn't seem to be working in Discord. Dada. Dada's gone as well. Well, it's just the three of us then. What about Shadow Giant?
Yeah.
Shadow Giant, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Sup, dude. How you doing, man?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, not much, eh? Yeah, Dada, it's not working, man. And Gale was here before, but then he left, so I'm not sure whether... that's okay, Alex. That's alright. Yeah. How many people have we got watching? Do people out there have topics of discussion? Gale, what's up, buddy? So, fuck. Emmy,
Sure.
what have you been up to?
Been stuck, man, in a chair. My shoulders just stopped to work. Been very painful for 5 months, so I quit pretty everything.
Mm-hmm.
And now with the summertime, I get a little bit back of mobility from the good weather here.
Yeah.
I'm really belonging on the forecast. So for the last week, I've been able to end up with a painting project I had to do with a family of mine, and softly coming back to music. Thanks, Uncle.
You're in Brittany, yeah?
Yeah, was France.
Well, is
Completely lost. I mean, we're far away from everything. Any border is 10-hour driving. It's pretty boring. Not much happening. But
and
it's okay.
it can be pretty cold in
Nice.
winter, yeah?
Not so much, actually.
Oh.
Despite it's not like Europe. We don't have continental weather, and it's all the way humidity and 5 to 10 degrees, almost never going minus.
Oh, that's advantageous.
That's pretty fine.
Yeah.
Humidity is just like, I got arthrosis from my trapeze career.
Yeah.
Fucking circus, Sport is not else. This is a myth. That's for you, Uncle.
Uncle! People were asking what tonight's topic is, and I realized that I don't have a topic at all.
I think the topics are going to develop as we talk, just like music develops as we are playing around the DAW.
Exactly. There's a Cloudflare outage, and that would be playing with the servers here, really? I've heard of Cloudflare, but I don't fully understand what it does. Rizzo, fuck, what's up? Well, a lot, dude. A lot's been up. I'm hoping a lot less is going to be up in the next few months.
Can you tell us a little bit about what happened actually in the last houses?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. No, Dada, we can't hear you at all anymore, dude. I'm sorry. Okay, so what happened at the last house? So, I used to live about a bit over a month and a half ago. I was living in a place that was quite close to the CBD. It's a central suburb here in Melbourne, and I was living there in a big share house, big sort of creative share house, and there was about 10 of us that lived there. And because there's like 10 people always coming and going, the property was never really secured. It was like oh, there's a low hum. Yeah, Alex, that would be my fan from my laptop. Sorry, I can't fix that. My laptop's like a pig. Yeah, so I lived in a big property with a lot of people that sort of could never be locked or secured. And yeah, one night I had finished cooking dinner and I had dinner with my girlfriend downstairs, and I went into the bathroom because I had taken my nose piercing out because I was getting an MRI scan on my knee because I got a knee injury. I was just in the bathroom. I didn't have the door closed and I was looking in the mirror to put my nose piercing in, and I heard the sliding door open, and I stuck my head out to see who it was, thinking that it was going to be one of my flatmates and I was going to say hello. And I could see one person like right in front of me, but two people sort of just following right behind, and that person that was closest to me just began hitting me, just came straight at me and began hitting me, mostly on the right hand side of my face because that's the way that I was facing, and you can see I've got a bit of a scar there. And I was hit maybe like 10 or 15 times. Maybe I was kicked a little bit when I fell over as well. I don't really remember, but I was in the bathroom and there's no way for me to have escaped in the bathroom as they were in the doorway. And I basically, my instinct, what I just did straight away is I started yelling, because I figured if I yelled then my flatmates would be able to get help, because they'd know what was going on, because I was me and my girlfriend sort of live on the ground level in a sort of basement area, and it's detached from the rest of the house, so I figured that I just needed to make a lot of noise so that they could hear what was going on and then try and get some help. So yeah, I fell over, and maybe I was kicked when I fell over. I can't really remember, but I was over the top of the toilet because I sort of recoiled into the back of the bathroom and fell over the toilet bowl. And they, after the main guy finished hitting me, he went out of the room and went into another room to kick in the door to attack one of my other flatmates. And as that was happening, one of the other guys came forward and he had a machete, and he pointed the machete at my head and was asking me,
what the fuck, man?
He was saying like, where is he? Where is he? Where's the guy? And because I was pretty dazed, so my response was what the fuck do you mean? There's people like everywhere in this house. There's 10 of us that live here. Who the fuck are you looking for? Like, who's he? So I basically just said like, there's people fucking everywhere, man. Like, and then I stayed there for maybe like 20 or 30 seconds, and the guy left and went to another part of the house. And the first thing I did is I got up and I just like locked the door to the bathroom, because it was actually a deadbolt to the bathroom door. So I figured like I just needed a moment to like figure out what the fuck I should do. I didn't have my phone on me, and I could hear them in the other parts of the house, like people like yelling and shit. So I opened the door and come back out to check on my flatmate who was like right next to the bathroom, and I couldn't see him. I didn't know where he'd gone. And I went into the basement, and my girlfriend was there, and there was a guy standing over her, a big massive dude, and and one of our other flatmates, and they were basically like making sure that they, I guess, weren't calling the police or weren't going anywhere. And I come into that room, and he sort of turned to me and sort of started coming towards me, and I was just like, whoa, dude, like, fucking just stop. I'm not going to cause you guys any shit. And then when he sort of, he wasn't as aggressive as the other guy, so he stopped, and kind of my other flatmate who was on the floor started attracting his attention because he picked up something and like smashed it over his head. And whilst he was doing that, I got my girlfriend up and I put her inside the garage and locked the door behind her because it's a very heavy deadbolt door. They wouldn't have been able to kick it in. And then at that point, the guy turned back at me because I just got her away, and he like shaped up at me and he tried to hit me, but he was like sort of too far away from me and it didn't really connect properly. And then I was just like, dude, like, seriously, like, cut it out. Like, I'm not causing you guys any shit. Just fucking take what you want and leave. And then there were, like, my flatmate again, he like took off out the door, and he had a lot of fight in him. He wanted to fight them, so he took off out the door and was chasing one of them. But then they went around to the front of the property. My flatmate, he picked up this massive rock and threw it at them, and I don't know whether it hit them, but they dropped everything that they had stolen and they chased him, and he like ran back through the back of the property and got away. And then the guys all decided to jump the fence and take off. So whilst they were upstairs, and I didn't see any of this happening, but whilst they were upstairs, they kicked in every door to every bedroom, and they attacked one of my flatmates with a baseball bat, and he got his arm smashed up pretty bad, and another one got hit in the head with a baseball bat. Like, I was lucky to just get hit with fists. So yeah, that's what happened.
Sound fucking freaky, bro.
Yeah,
Really freaky
That's
story.
honestly
Sorry to hear.
scary. That is seriously scary.
yeah, just so
So
senseless. man.
in the end, they were looking for someone.
Yeah, they were looking for somebody. They had heard somebody that lived at that property that was doing something that they shouldn't be doing, and they thought that they could
Alright.
cash in on what activity was happening. And unfortunately, I was caught in the collateral damage of that. But they didn't even know who they were looking for. I think they just got like tipped off by somebody that some shit could be happening at that house, and then so they all got together and come and basically raided us. But they didn't really know what was happening. They just figured they might get lucky.
Just desperate guys then.
Yeah, I assume so, man. It felt really like a hate crime towards me in a way, because I just feel like I didn't antagonize them at all. Like, just being the first person they saw, like I was the first person in the house that they saw, and just like getting beaten up and then afterwards being asked questions. Like, they didn't even threaten me beforehand. They didn't try and get me to tell them if there was anybody there that could have money or like whatever. They just beat the shit out of me. So it just seems senseless. Like, I couldn't understand it, but I understand from a perspective, like, you go into a house like that, you kind of want everybody to like just submit to you and not fight back, and the best way to do it is just to like fuck people up, I guess, like as quickly as possible.
Well, it's weird though, isn't it? Because you'd think that they would just be like, if there's a bunch of dudes and they've got baseball bats or whatever, you'd think they'd come in and say like, look, we're gonna fuck you up if you don't tell me where all of your expensive shit is or whatever.
Yeah. That would seem
So-
like the way to do it to me, but what do I know?
Yeah, if I was gonna rob a place.
Yeah, it was
At
just
the end of the story
Yeah.
could have been really dramatic.
yeah, dude. Yeah, because like it leaves you thinking like a lot of things, like, oh man, I wish I had this to defend myself with. But then I ended up thinking like, man, if I had a weapon or something like that, there were many of
much
them.
worse.
Yeah, you go worse.
Yeah.
You just go worse.
It just
man.
escalates, man. And then if they disarm you and then use
True.
that against you, because the only reason they brought knives and machetes, but they didn't have baseball bats. They took the baseball bats from my flatmates.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's been
Well,
really.
I'm just glad it didn't go worse.
Yeah. Well, man, when I got up and looked in the mirror and I saw myself, I was like, whoa. I was kind of pleased, but I was kind of like freaked out as well because I had blood like all over my face. Because my eyebrow like split, right open. But yeah, I was lucky I didn't get like, it was just all on the side of my face here, so it wasn't like, you know, it could have been worse if it was, it could have been way worse, like just in general. Yeah, it's fucked up.
So
Yeah.
you catch them.
Whoever said that, I very vaguely heard you, but you could probably turn your microphone up a bit. So who asked whether they got caught?
That was me.
Yeah.
Let me turn up the volume a bit.
Yes.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's a bit better, man. No, the police have absolutely no leads on who it was. But yeah,
Sucks.
we're really lucky. Like I said, I got my girlfriend up and got her into the garage, and the garage is where my studio was. If you saw the my studio tour video, you could see it was like, it was in the garage. And I'm just really lucky that they didn't even go in there. The garage was unlocked when the guy was in there looking over her, like making sure that she wasn't doing anything. They could have walked in there and seen all of the shit that was in there because we didn't have the door locked. But then I'm just pleased that they didn't, and they didn't damage any of my girlfriend's artwork because she's a very successful painter. So yeah, none of her shit got damaged, and they didn't actually end up getting away with anything except for about $1,500 from one of my flatmates. So yeah, it's fucking hectic, man. And I've definitely got a little bit of psychological trauma. I feel very uncomfortable in closed spaces.
It's normal.
Yeah, I feel uncomfortable when there's like an
Yeah.
entrance where I can't see. Like, just lots of stuff. So
It does get better though.
yeah, I have faith that it will, man. Yeah.
Tell you from experience.
Yeah, it's it's sad because
Yeah,
now that
getting-
I've
Getting like mugged or whatever.
sorry, what was that?
No, carry on.
Yeah, it's really weird because now
I was just gonna say.
delay.
Alright, go for it.
Yeah. So I've just been, since I've had this experience, a lot of other people have opened up to me about what's happened to them, and fuck, like fuck. First of all, this is really like, everybody keeps telling me, like the police keep saying like this is an extremely serious crime. But man, when you hear what's happened to other fucking people that just goes unreported, or like, it's fucked. One of my friends was telling me about how he had like a sexual assault happen to him in Paris, on the streets of Paris.
Jeez.
And like, yeah, like just crazy shit. I'm lucky that they didn't try and rape my girlfriend. I'm lucky that they didn't do any fucked up shit like that to me. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom, so maybe we'll get back onto
Yeah,
the topic
alright.
of music production, because that might be a bit hectic to keep talking about this sort of thing. But yeah, if anybody
Yeah.
does want to share their story
Yeah,
though,
sure.
feel free to. Like, I won't shut that conversation down. But I'll be right back.
I'll probably get kicked out anyway.
It's coffee cup time. Thanks for telling, by the way.
Yeah.
How is everyone?
I'm
Doing
fine.
pretty well.
Good enough, yeah.
Working hard
Good,
on
glad to
new
hear it.
music.
I'm gonna turn you up a bit. How's your studio coming along, Shep?
Yeah, it's good. I got up 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 tapestries up last night, and the sound in this room is like, it's just so much better now. Like, it's not quite as good as it was when I had all of my acoustic treatment in here, but so I took all my treatment out, and then I was clapping to hear the sound of the room, and there was like extreme comb filtering going on. I was getting like a clear F or like just slightly sharp F off of the ceiling, which is like really, really bad. Obviously, because when you're mixing or making music, it's gonna comb filter your
Harmonic.
sounds and fuck it up. Anyways, so yeah, I put up these tapestries, and there's zero comb filtering going on now. Like if I clap, you don't really hear a reverb, like at all really. And then I've got 8 very big bass traps to put in. So yeah, once that's all in, I'll be a happy guy.
Where are you based?
In England.
Okay.
What about you?
Right down south. From where you're.
Back.
So France.
Yeah, the western part.
Oh, nice.
I'm more right down island. So that would be more precise.
Shep, what were you talking about there with the acoustic treatment? Where are you getting comb filtering from?
So the well, I've built all these bass traps, so I've taken everything out of my studio, and then I was just clapping in the studio just to hear like how crap or where the issues are really with my room. And I was getting like massive comb filtering, and like I was getting such bad filtering that when you clapped, there was a clear F, or like slightly sharp of an F coming off of the ceiling.
Well, like the
Which is like-
the note F, like tone.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like that bad. Yeah. And it was like the fluttering on it was just horrible. But anyways, I put up a load of tapestries on in the corners of the ceiling and like stuff like that, and it's just I can clap in here now and it's just virtually no reverb.
Yeah.
And then I've got 8 bass traps to fit in here, and then yeah, I'll do a test when it's all in, and then hopefully it's a really, really good response.
What dimensions are your room Shep? Is your room Shep?
It's kind of awkward shape because it's not like a rectangle. It's like to be honest, I'd have to like draw it and just send a picture to the Discord.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I've
It's like
got
a
the topic
really
in the
weird-
meantime.
Fucking shape. But yeah,
That
carry
could
on. I'll
be
just
an
post stuff
idea.
in the general.
We could maybe try to make a channel on the Discord about treatment tips and stuff like that.
Yes,
Oh.
we could. Yeah.
Well, I'd be really happy to sort of be active there, because I've got a lot of like little bits of information on how to treat your room, like from like cheap solutions to like expensive solutions, etc.
What material
Yeah, so
do
you told me something about that.
Sorry.
I saw pictures on the internet. Some people took like wooden beams and then cut them to different lengths, like between 5 and 10 centimeters maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and they put it in a matrix kind of format.
Mm-hmm.
Put
That's
that
called
on
a
the wall. It
skyline
looks really
diffuser.
cool. Is that good?
Yeah, that's called a skyline diffuser. It might have been a quadratic diffuser, potentially, but basically what that does is, well, firstly it looks beautiful, but what it does is
Yeah.
all the frequencies that hit it, if you make it correctly, the frequencies all come back at slightly different times from each other. So when you're outside in nature, nothing is like flat walls and stuff, so all the frequencies come back at you when you make a sound or whatever, all at slightly different times, and that's what sounds natural to us, because that's what sound is like in nature. But if you're in a room with flat walls, all the frequencies, well, they come back at a relative, well, they don't come back at exactly the same time, but if we say they do, just because it's easier, so we say they all come back at the same time, and it sounds very unnatural, and you get these issues like comb filtering and flutter echo. But if you put up a diffuser, all the frequencies should come back at different times, and for instance, a very small square room, if you go inside it, it sounds a bit, you speak in it and it sounds really boxy, but if you put a diffuser up, and you closed your eyes, you might feel like you're in a really big room, or even outside maybe, if you have a good one.
Yeah,
That's
because
really
I'm moving
interesting.
flat soon, and I think I'm gonna try and build one of those. They look really nice.
Well,
and I've got a
funnily
separate
enough,
room for office and studio now.
Nice. Yeah, I really want to build a diffuser, but actually I've been looking into building a diffuser out of Lego.
Yeah.
That'd
That
be
sounds
sick.
pretty cool.
Yeah, because it looks really cool, and then you can stick little Lego men on it and stuff like that. And like, you know, if you've got children and stuff, you know, they can add their little their flair to it when they want, and you know, keeps them busy. But it's also a lot easier to build. Like I do have all the tools to build things like bass traps and diffusers, etc., etc. But you know, it's a lot easier to stick Lego blocks together, and if you stick the Lego blocks together wrong, you can always take them apart. Whereas if you're cutting up wood and you do it wrong, you're screwed. You need to start again. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
for
try
this
it with
type of
Lego, and I'll let you
skyline
guys know what
diffuser-
happens.
Yeah, but I think the skyline diffuser should be fairly simple to do. You just cut random lengths of.
It's
wooden
not
beams.
random.
It's not.
It's actually not random.
You follow a plan.
You need to calculate the exact lengths.
Yeah, there's a couple
Do you
of
have any
plans.
resources in that?
Yes. Should we start a little
Yeah.
Start a channel maybe for this stuff?
Yeah, let's do it. So let's go under learn. Let's go room treatment. Room treatment? Or what
Yeah.
should it be? That narrow?
Acoustics.
Acou-
Acoustic treatment.
Room-
maybe?
room
tips or
acoustics.
something like that.
Treatment tips. Yeah.
Or maybe even studio setup,
Studio.
because I can talk. You could talk about speaker placement and things like that as well,
Yeah,
because that's
studio.
just
Yeah,
as
sure.
important.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah, you were mentioning the square room, and it's true that the placement of the speakers is so important in this case.
Absolutely, yeah. Because if you're stuck in a square room, there's a couple of things which I usually say to people with square rooms, which is
Straight in the middle, bro.
well, firstly, try using the room as if it's a diamond rather than a square. So put the corner of the room behind the speakers rather than a flat wall. And sometimes this can really, really help. And the other big thing is tilting your speakers, because if your speakers are just flat, then, and you're in a square room, you know that the frequencies are going to bounce off the wall behind you and come straight back to your ears. So you're going to get a bit of I can't remember the name, but it's an interference where the room sound is going to interfere with the direct sound of the speakers. But if your speakers are tilted, it's going to go to your ears, and then it's going to go and bounce off the floor or the ceiling, and then wherever it's going to bounce to next is not going to be your ears. So you end up, you completely remove a first order reflection, which is the most important ones to get rid of.
That's some really good advice. Thank you.
But yeah, I'm just going to put all this information in the studio setup place, alright?
Perfect. I'm gonna need it soon.
There's a really great video that that Dynaudio did that addresses a bunch of different room sizes and approaches. It's really nice. Have you watched that one, Shep?
I haven't actually, but do you know the company GIK, like GIK?
Yeah. They create broadband
They're excellent.
absorbers
But
and
they
shit.
have a they've got a sort of a calculator thing online where you can put in your room dimensions,
Nice.
and it'll sort of roughly work out what's going on in there.
Well,
But
let's do that now. Let's do it. I got a room. Let's do my room.
Oh yeah.
Well, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? Would that give us a good topic to spend time on? Or
yeah, for sure.
Definitely drop the link in the channel. I'm gonna need this soon.
yeah. So
Yeah,
if
I'll fill the studio setup place with stuff, and I'll pin the links. All right.
Yeah, Shep, if you
Great.
if you're able to hook that up ASAP, I'll get it up on here and we'll put my room dimensions in. Fuck, what are my room dimensions? I did have them. I don't want to show anybody my address anymore because that's I don't want to get
I know, right?
So if I turn that off just for now, and I'm gonna go.
The other thing is, if you go on Gearsluts, if you have Gearsluts, if not, go and get an account. Go on Gearsluts and just ask people about this stuff. And more often than not, the CEO of GIK will actually comment. He's like super nice guy, and he gives away a lot of advice for free. So, really highly recommend using Gearsluts for advice.
All right, let's load her up. Boom. Whoa, what's happening? Fucking Firefox is my default browser, and I need to change it back to Chrome. Although I should use Firefox.
Brave browser.
Brave, yeah, true. People told me about Brave. Okay, all right. Room Acoustics Visualizer, better version. Our new cool. Do I need to make an account?
I have never actually used this one, so
Okay.
I couldn't say for sure. But I've been told by a lot of people that this is the one to use.
Start a plan. I've clicked it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I probably want to. Wait? Oh shit. Let's just make a custom one. Let's do it. Can you guys see? You guys can see this on my screen, yeah?
Yep.
Do everything
I
with
can't
passion.
see any screen.
Are you on this streamy stream?
On the
Yeah, I
stream.
got it.
Oh wait,
We are on the
Is that different to
presentation right now.
wait here?
Design is not a thing you do.
Sorry, guys, I'm a bit of a
It's on
noob.
YouTube,
Like,
bro.
How do I get on the stream?
On
Jump
channel.
on YouTube.
Uh,
But you'll want to mute YouTube so that you don't hear yourself and hear everything. Or in a wonky way. Yeah, I do need to make an account. That's
Yeah,
okay.
and you have like 10-second delays, 10-15 delays.
I might just go ahead and do that.
Don't show us, bro.
I get enough spam.
whoa. That was
I'm gonna
like
put your
exiting
your
the
email
Matrix or
address on
something.
every Chinese site I'm going across.
You would. You would. Okay, what are we gonna call it?
Definitely, I would.
Oh fuck, what have I done? Go back. This guy. Imagine, do I have to watch this all over again in order to get to the fucking... Okay, yeah, here we go. We got it. Let's do it. Come on.
Actually, I'm really interested since I'm mean to move in like 2 weeks, something like that, and I'm gonna get a full basement, about 100 meters square to set up the studio, and I'm fucking scared about the acoustic of that place. Basement is okay, it's pretty tough, but
You had this garage door, right?
yeah, man, damn, you know, PVC crappy thin door.
Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty freaky.
what might help. Maybe. I mean, you should try and come up with a lot of different ideas before you settle with one. But what might help is you can get this stuff, which is like it's like carpet, but
Yeah.
It's like a big sheet of
Curtain. I was thinking
Yeah,
of a very tough curtain, you know, right behind the
Exactly.
door. Yeah, definitely.
yeah. You could even depending on how the door opens, you could even just attach it to the door.
Yeah, sure.
Because if you can attach it to the door, and then you can just keep on attaching more sort of parts to it as you go. But you'd need to. Do you have some sort of like reference microphone or something so you can test the?
No,
acoustics?
but I definitely go for like Sonarwalk or something like this because
I recommend.
I'm using.
I
yeah.
recommend. Sorry. I recommend the Sonarworks microphone.
Yeah.
It's
You
really good, it works well
you
with-
mean the measurement microphone that go in the package? no?
Yes.
Yeah. That's my plan pretty much. I'm working a lot, with acoustic microphone, and I was working on an album with an Italian harp player, so we are taking a lot of microphone, the acoustic sound, not only the pickup, and with that door and the street behind, it's gonna be impossible. So, or I would make a cabin to isolate him completely. But
Yeah.
This is
it's a rental, so I can do whatever I want. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you will. Well, I'm sure you'll find something to make a big difference. It's just sometimes it's just putting things like the speakers and stuff in just the right place. But in terms of stopping the sound of the street coming in, you're probably just gonna have to just keep adding more and more stuff until
Yeah,
it's an
yeah.
acceptable sort of level, really.
I got your idea.
Sadly.
We have some friends that own a professional studio, like 20-minute driving from where I'm going. But it's always
Oh,
more
perfect.
comfortable when you can do the shit right in your own studio.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they'll be able to give you some advice.
I
It's
will
always
dig
easier with-
later the reference.
Yeah. It's always easier when you can get someone to come and actually look at your space and say, "Oh, I think this might work," because
Yeah.
it's always easier in person.
Yeah. I got a friend that is actually graduate from this kind of acoustic engineering and room
Oh.
treatment and stuff like that.
Perfect.
Yeah. But he is father of 3, so
Okay.
trying to get him like half an hour away from the kids is like, fucking cross.
Yeah.
Where's the mom?
Where's the mom? Lazy moms. Hiding.
Ah,
guys. This is not that fun.
Yeah.
I didn't
was
think
thinking
Minecraft would be this
say that.
difficult.
can't you just type in values?
I would love to.
Apparently not. Apparently not. You have to draw the room.
Shitty interface.
How do I? Yeah, here we go.
I think you can start with like a template and just alter it.
Yeah, that's what I should have done.
But I mean,
I think this way is way more entertaining.
Okay. Well, there we go.
yeah, you get to watch him struggle.
Yeah.
Hey, here we go. How do
Remind
I?
me the first version of Paint.
How do I?
Oh.
How do I set the roof height?
I
That's a
think you need to press
That one, yeah.
Control and W.
Oh yeah? What makes you think that?
Just try it out and see what happens.
What a guy. What a guy.
I hate to admit I would have fallen for that one.
I did press it. I did press it. Just wait, watch the stream. Yeah, I don't know how to do the roof. The roof.
I just assumed by the way he said it that that's like close the
Yeah,
page
it
or
is.
some shit.
It's like the more friendly version of Alt F4, as in Control W only
Yeah.
closes one tab rather than the entire
Right.
thing.
Okay, here we go. Ceiling height. 2 meters. 40.
I've set my VPN to the US, and somehow I can stay in for longer. So that's nice.
Why does it kick you out?
I don't know. Yeah, well, basically it states that if you have a ping higher than 250 milliseconds, you'll probably get kicked out.
Alright. So that's weird though, because my ping should definitely be higher than that if this is going all the way to Australia.
Yeah. But on the other hand, my new roommate just told me that he had internet problems as well. So
Okay.
maybe Dada is
That's
just
fair.
leeching my internet as well.
Yeah, I think Dada's leeching your internet. Okay, I'm giving
that's
up on
definitely
this
what it is.
for now because it's quite clunky and slow. But
Yeah, I was gonna say you might want to do this in your own time.
Yeah, that's a weird version of Minecraft. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, not so fun.
Yeah. Where are all them creepers?
But yeah, room acoustic matters. Room acoustic treatment matters.
Yeah, but how far do you need to take your room acoustic treatment? I mean, it can go too far, I assume.
Yes, you can go too far. You basically you want to get the low end as tight as possible, which you might get to a point where it's just not possible to get it any better than it is, because if you have like really, really bad room nodes, then no matter what you do, it's just not going to help. But hopefully you don't have that. But the best way to deal with that type of issue is just move your speakers. So anyways, the mids should be pretty tight, but your high frequencies, you don't want that to be completely damp. Like if you have a room which is completely no reverb at all, it's called an anacoustic chamber. If you mix in one of those, when you then hear your mix outside of that room, the high frequencies will be ridiculously loud, because you know,
you don't hear them in acoustic.
Yeah, in any room or whatever, you're going to hear the high frequencies bouncing off of walls and things like this, and you get this you get an increase in higher frequencies. But if you have completely dead room, you won't have anything bouncing these higher frequencies back to you. So yeah, it's best to, I would say, focus on like if you clap in a room, you can get a good idea of what the main issues are. Just try to deal with any ringing and stuff first, and usually it's the corners of the ceilings, as in like the corner of the where two walls and a ceiling meet. Those are the worst places. They're called trilateral corners, but frequencies really enjoy to live in these corners. So if you can just put like a tapestry or a block of foam or something in these trilateral corners, it'll make a huge difference. And then once you've dealt with that, just try and get your low end as good as you can with things like bass traps and things like Sonarworks.
What you said about the anacoustic chambers, wouldn't that be the same as mixing on headphones? Why is that
Not
different?
quite, because most, well, I mean, it depends, but most headphones, headphones are flat, but most headphones are a bit hyped in the higher frequencies anyways.
yeah, but the anechoic chamber is stopping reflections altogether. Like inside of the headphone, technically there's still reflections occurring.
Yeah. The inside of headphones is actually like extremely complicated sort of acoustic situation. There's a reason that headphones can't be super flat, and it's because it's such a small space, and it's very difficult to actually get the frequencies to propagate properly before they even reach your ears. And yeah, various other issues.
The thing you said about
Yeah.
corners makes a lot of sense as well. Because if you think about reflectors for light, those are also 2 right angle corners. And they reflect directly in the direction where the sound or the light came from.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's the first thing to deal with is your first order reflections. If you have a friend who is willing to help you, what you can do is if you sit in your listening position, so where your seat is in front of your speakers, sit there and then get a friend to hold a small mirror on the wall, and if they just keep moving the mirror around on the wall until you in your seat can see the speakers in the mirror. Well, if there's a point where you can see the speakers in the mirror, that means that's a place where you need to put some treatment, because that will be a first order reflection. And that's a pretty easy way of figuring out where they'll be, as long as you've got someone to help you.
That's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's also very doable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's quite an easy one. I prefer to do stuff with trial and error rather than like trying to work it out with too much calculators and numbers and stuff, because the reality I find anyway with room acoustics is it's never ever as simple as it seems in the maths, because it might seem like the perfect setup if you do all the maths and with the room sizes and stuff, but actually it turns out that one of the walls is slightly more dense than another, and like one of the walls isn't quite at a right angle and things like this, and it just makes a big difference. Or exactly where your speakers are might be, you know, if you nudge them an inch to the left of where they were, you suddenly you don't have a null that you did have, and actually by moving the speakers to somewhere where you think they shouldn't be, you've actually complemented the room. So it's, you know, it's never perfectly straightforward. You just got to try different stuff until you get a good response.
Yeah. How would you handle hollow walls? Because mine are made out of cardboard or something. They're horrible.
The fuck?
Well, I mean, I assume you don't own it.
Nope.
It's like a rental or something.
Yeah, rent a room.
So in that case, well, if you owned it, I would say cut a hole in the wall and just stuff as much insulation inside the walls as you can. But in this case, all you can really do is like
move out.
Well, you can improve the mids and the high mids and the highs quite a lot by just putting things like towels or tapestries straddling the walls.
People?
Hey.
Hey. Sorry to interrupt. I'm just happy that I can talk now.
Ta-da!
Sorry. Continue.
No problem. So yeah, and another thing is, you know, people often think that, oh, I need to take all the stuff out of my room because it's causing bad reflections. But actually, having lots of stuff in your room, if you can't, you know, if you don't have a dedicated space, then having plenty of stuff in the room can really help. Like, if you've got a bed in the same room as your speakers, that's a massive bass trap. That is a huge bass trap. So it
But
can actually
only
do
if
wonders
it's
for the
like
sound.
it only works as a bass trap when you place the bed kind of in line with the speakers. Because if I turn to my right, my bed is over there, but my speakers aren't angled towards the bed, so I suppose
True.
it does nothing.
Not necessarily though, because the frequency is going to be bouncing all over your room, and when they get over to the side of the room where the bed is, they're going to get sucked up. Whereas if the bed wasn't there, they might bounce around and then come back to you again.
No.
And that you know, when frequencies take a long time to come back to you, you get late reflections. So, you know, in a reverb, you got early and late reflections. It's just like that. You know, early reflections are the things that are going to make the sound appear strange and like not quite right. And late reflections are the ones that you're going to hear as an actual separate signal. So, you might hear a hi-hat twice because it's coming back off a wall behind you, like a slapback echo type thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't have these kinds of reverbing happening, whatever. So I think I'm good.
Oh, that's good.
One thing that give a good idea is to, you knock the doors, not the doors, the walls. You just give a small knock on them, and you see if there is a lot of density. If you have some kind of small vibration and stuff like that, you're fucked up. But if it's like concrete and pretty tough, it's mostly a go.
Emmy, I sent you. I'm not. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, Shep. But is it called Molleton cloth that you can use for like tapestries? I think it's called molton in Swedish.
I'll look up what that is, Molleton. But
it's some kind of cloth that you use in theater setups.
Yeah.
I was thinking for you, Emmy, to hang it in your new studio space to absorb the high frequencies. Because we use it.
We have. I mean, it's the same French word. I see what you're referring. That was pretty much my idea. Yeah, a big curtain of this.
Because I use it at our parties. We usually hang it to cover up the windows and everything, and it actually does a huge difference for the high frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
That's great, mate. I will be looking for this. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have windows behind my speakers. Would I need to hang curtains over there as well?
Ideally, you should get some in front of the glass.
Also, thanks, Uncle, for giving the tip about VPN. Because now I actually found I had like a VIP card from F-Secure that gave me 3 months of free VPN service, and it actually works.
freevpnservice.com/dada.
Yeah.
So I've always been wondering, since we're talking about acoustics now, is there a way to train your ears faster than just listening? Like, is there some exercise you could do?
EQ. You have these types of machines which you can hang weights from. Then you just attach your ear to one of them, and they will get.
Is that the ears are gonna get stronger, or the trapeze and the neck?
Yeah, both.
Okay, good one.
Make sure to do them bilateral, though. Otherwise, one ear will get better than the other.
Yeah, it's bad for the spine as well, I heard.
More seriously, you have some frequencies test you can do that make a long sweep all the way up to 20 kilohertz from 0, and you can self-diagnose if you have some lack in frequencies. If you have been partying a lot and stuff like that, from like your 15 to your 25, 30, you may have a big hole into your hearing, around 9 kilohertz to 13 kilohertz. Happen very oftenly to ravers. And also you will see that you might lose the high frequencies nearby 12 kilohertz, 13 kilohertz. But the good news is, unless you have very bad damage on your what's the name in English, tympan, inside the ear, on the drum one, I mean the drums, the skin drum, we have tympan, I don't know. Anyway, unless you have big damage, by listening this kind of swipe of this, you can get hearing back. So first you need to self-diagnose and know if you have some hole in your hearing. That's very important. And then by listening this kind of swipes, oftenly you can get the hearing back, and you can put yourself, if you have like synthesizer with a VST, you can play with high frequencies, not damaging one. They mustn't be, the volume have to be low and stuff like that. And you go slowly and slowly increasing the frequencies, and you can train your ear to get it back.
Speaking of your hearing, I've just posted in the studio setup a test where you can see what the response of your ears is.
Oh, cool. That's really cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the way it works is it's like a graph, and you would start at like 1 or 2 kilohertz. It's up to you, and then you click. There's like, you can change the volume of that tone, and then you just go until you get a comfortable volume of that tone, and then you go to the next tone, and you try to match the volume of the new tone with the old one, and then you just keep on going, and you keep referencing the first tone that you did, and eventually you get this kind of curve.
That's sick.
And it shows you the rough response of your ears.
That's sick.
Yeah.
And that's roughly
don't
how.
worry if it looks a bit weird, because ears aren't flat in the first place. There's something called Fletcher-Munson curves. And depending on how loud you listen to stuff, you will hear the mids to be louder or quieter and stuff. So, but it's good to know if you have a big hole somewhere or something.
Sorry guys to interrupt. I got a class now, so I got to leave the chat. So it was fun listening to you guys since I couldn't join the chat for majority of the time. But I'll watch the stream later. So Andrew, don't remove it right away.
Yeah, sure. No worries, man. I'll leave it up.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Catch you, bro.
See you guys. Bye bye.
Have a
Catch
nice
you later.
one.
Bye.
Dude, see you.
Hey guys, Daryl in the chat has asked a question. So I'll just attract our attention to it. So he's just saying, like, yes, it's off the topic of what we've been talking about, but that's okay. He's asking, can I make it after 40 years of age in the electronic music industry? And does anybody know of someone personally that
Absolutely.
has? And then somebody that has managed to do it without being a DJ. So I presume he's asking whether a producer could do it or something like this. So
I know a case like this in France.
Mhm.
No, the guy. Sorry. I mean, the guy, I've been mostly stage designer for years, and near in his 40s, he was interested in evolving into the sound and music production, and so he started with like one synth. It was back in time Jupiter 8, I think, from Roland, and a basic Cubase, and started like this. And it took few years for him, like about 5 to 7 years, to master and understand what he was doing. And from his 47 and till now is 60 past, I think. He might be, or nearby the 60 right now. Well, I'm talking, the guy started like at the early 20, 2000, 2003, around that. And since now 10 years, he's been traveling with music around the world.
fantastic. Does anybody else have any other stories about that?
Well, an important question would be to make what do you mean with make it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Alex Drain, I think he's older than 40. He has some releases on his name now. So, but yeah, he started at an earlier age. But in the end, I think if you just keep practicing, keep getting better, develop your own sound, whatever, I think anybody could make it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you pointed something interesting is what is make it? Does it mean just show up on stage and perform your music for maybe $100, $200 one time a year, or is it a plan for a living? And
Yeah.
this is another question, because you're gonna then it's another, it's a whole business, it's a whole industry. You're gonna have to chase your gigs, you have to sell yourself, marketing, and all this stuff. This is something else. So maybe define the goal is important also.
Yep, absolutely. So then Sunny has asked a question in the chat, and Walker's also asked a question. So maybe Walker's question sort of tacks on. So he's asking whether somebody under 18 could be a professional producer or DJ, and whether they could go to clubs to perform. So
I think
Well-
Martin Garrix is like a prime example. I think he was like 17 or so. When he
Bro,
played big
Armin van
events.
Buuren.
Yeah,
Not
but-
talking about the Psy side, but Armin van Buuren. He was fucking taking like $100,000 of dollars before being 18.
Oh, I didn't know he was that young when he started.
It was damn young, man.
Oh,
I think Ed Sheeran isn't 18 yet, even.
No, he's older than. I'm sure Ed Sheeran's older than I am, and I'm in my mid-20s. Let me check. Let me check.
Like
I think
the
Ed-
French
Ed
guy
Sheeran,
now.
he's
what's the name?
29.
There
David
is
Guetta.
this guy now. No, Guetta was pretty old. Guetta have been DJ for years in Paris before getting to celebrity. But look at this guy right now. That I8 model, I think the name. This guy is just like ridiculously young.
yeah, so Walker basically, yes, and probably you as a young kid you would find it easier to reach success earlier if you start very young, because you've got a lot of time to focus your artistic skill and discover a sound, and yeah, you've got your whole life ahead of you, man. So it's just a matter of putting in the hard work.
Yeah.
And then, so the next question is from Sunny Place. And he's got a good question that Uncle Butts just recently asked. And that question is, he's about to buy his first pair of studio monitors, but he's a little confused about the frequency response. They aren't flat at all. Well, if we speak around a $500, so under $500 speaker. And he's asking what advice anybody would have.
What, $500 for a pair?
Guess so, yeah.
If they can stretch an extra $100, there's a pair of speakers which I can really, really highly recommend, called Kali LP6.
Yeah, I've got those now, but I think I paid only $300, around 300 for one set of two.
I recently see
300
that
for a pair.
Oh yeah, for a pair. Yeah.
my Dino Duo, I have the MBK3 or something like that. They dropped down. The price is pretty low. I think I saw them like 600, 700. But this is very good material.
Oh yeah, the Kalis they are about 300 for
For
a
a pair, yeah.
In that case, that
I can
that is
recommend
definitely what
those
I
as
would
well.
buy.
Yeah.
I mean, in that range, I mean, I've listened to a lot of speakers, and in that price range, for me, the two competitors are the Adam T5V and the Kali LP6. For me, I found I really like the tweeters in Adam speakers. A lot of people find them a bit too shrill, but for me, I find they really highlight the high mids in like a positive way. But having also heard the LP6, they just have much tighter low mids. Their reflex goes down to like, it's like it's like 40 hertz or 38 hertz or something like this. So it's pretty damn low for just a pair of, you know, 6-inch monitors, which I don't think you can really get many other speakers out there that'll perform quite like they do, especially not for that kind of money. And by the way, I'm not affiliated with Kali in any way, but I just like those speakers.
You're getting paid off, man. Nah, man.
They're great, and
yeah,
the
I'm
speakers
like,
that are twice the price I've heard, which aren't quite as good.
yeah, I'm like that though too, man. When I find a piece of gear and I really fucking like it, I'm so willing to talk about it and recommend it. And people call that out and think that like you're trying to sell shit, but man, it's nice to have
on
good
the
gear
other
that
hand,
you can rely on.
why would they care? Why would people care if you make money from advising people about a certain type of speakers?
Well, I guess they associate
Well,
some sort of
credibility.
credibility, exactly. So you lose credibility as soon as you're getting your pockets lined to say something, you know. But
That's true.
Yeah.
But
but that's not everybody is. Wow, how optimistic am I about how optimistic about humanity am I saying this? But not everybody gets bought out
you're
like
too,
that.
You're too optimistic.
Ugh. I think I can watch YouTube videos and I can tell the ones where the opinion is bought. Like it's just so obvious.
Yeah, on the hardware market, synthesizers and stuff, there is a lack of objectivity. It's like obvious.
Yeah, I've been told before that I'm not, like, just in my line of work, you know, doing my job, that technically I'm not allowed to compare brands to each other or products to each other. I should always talk about products like isolated from anything else. And I feel like that's like anti-competitive. It's like the reason there's there's a reason why we want to be good, and that's because we can be compared to something else. So we have a sort of guideline to operate within, and it's the same with a product, man.
Yeah, I think comparison's actually really important.
Mhm.
But I think what's also just as important is to remind people that just because the comparison says one is better than another of whatever it is, it doesn't mean you have to prefer one to the other. Like,
Yeah.
you know, X speaker might have a worse response than another, but you might prefer that speaker and you should still buy it because you prefer it.
Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, like, you should get the gear that you want to have and what you like using, because it's no good having some crazy powerful synth that you don't like to use, whereas you could have had, you know, a lesser synth that you really works with your workflow and you just sort of fly
Definitely,
with,
man.
you know.
Definitely.
Okay, guys, I think that I am going to call it a chat and end the stream for now. So thanks so much for all coming and joining. As soon as I have a more solid schedule, we'll be regularly kind of arranging these chats to take place. So yeah, thanks guys for coming on and chatting and sharing your wisdom and your energy. And I will see
Thanks
you.
for having me.
No worries. I'll see you guys all again very soon. To the guys in the chat, thanks for coming and watching. And yeah, we'll try and do this regularly, and we'll make announcements ahead of time, not just on Discord, but I think I'll come up with a little template so I can make announcements ahead of the time. So, yep. Thanks again, guys, and peace. And I will see you all again very soon.
Thanks for having me.
No worries.
Take care.
Take it easy, guys.
See you guys.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
And the video will stay up on YouTube. I won't make it private, so everybody will be able to watch it.